Welcome to the Jessie at Home Stitchopedia. In this episode we are going to be talking about post stitches, so I'll show you how to do those in a moment, and then we'll come back and we'll look at this little practice sample. You can make the written instructions for the practice sample and the chart for the practice sample, along with some written instructions and photographs of doing post stitches, can all be found below this video in the post at jessieathome.com. If you are not at jessieathome.com, if you happen to come across this video on YouTube, if you look below this video, there's a little description box, and in that description box is the link that will take you to the blog post that has all that additional information for you. Okay, so for this sample, I'm actually using Lion Brand Heartland yarns, which is made in America. It's easy care. It's 100% acrylic. Okay, I know you like to know what yarn I'm using in case it's one that appeals to you. So let's get going on post stitches. To start off, I've just made a base of some double crochets, so I have something to work into, because your first row or your first round has to be just regular stitches, and then you're going to work your post stitches into those. So we're going to start off with some half double crochet, some double crochet, and some treble crochet front posts, and then we'll turn around and we'll do some back posts. By then you'll be ready to work on your practice piece, and we'll talk about that a little bit too. So to begin, I always start and end my rows or my rounds with a regular stitch, even when I'm working in post stitch. So we're going to start off with half double crochets. The starting chain for a half double crochet is chain 2. We did that already. Now we're going to work on our first front post stitch. So you know a half double crochet starts with a yarn over, so you go ahead and you start with your yarn over. To do a front post stitch, what you're going to do, and just remember when you're working with crochet and your instructions say to do something on the front of the work, the front is the part that's facing you. If your instructions say to do something in the back of the work, the back is the part that's facing away from you. It doesn't matter as far as the right and wrong side of the actual garment or whatever you're making is. This is when you're working, front is the part that's facing you, back is the part that's facing away from you. So we're making a front post half double crochet. So we're going to start by putting our hook in around the post. See these stitches? If I stretch them out, you can see the post of the stitch. It's the base of the stitch. That's what we're calling the post. And we're going to wrap our hook around the post from the front to the back and then back up again. And you've pulled that post forward. And now we're going to make our half double crochet the rest of the way. And I'll show you that again. Half double crochet starts with a yarn over. We're going into the next stitch and we're going to go from the front to the back and then back again, pulling that post forward. That's a front post. Half double crochet. Just finish your half double crochet again. From the front to the back and then back to the front again, you're wrapping around the post and you're finishing off your half double crochet around the post, front to back. Okay, that's half double crochet. Now let's do a double crochet, and you're going to see it's the same thing. All you're doing is the same thing but making a double instead of a half double. So you start with the yarn over and you go from the front to the back and then from the back to the front again, wrapping around that post. And then you just make your double crochet just like you normally would. Again, pull that post to the front. Make your double crochet. Pull that post to the front. Make your double crochet. Pull that post to the front. Make your double crochet. Let's do a treble. Yarn over twice. Pull the post to the front. Make a treble crochet. Okay, from the front, starting with the front, front to back, back to front, pulling that post to the front, making your double crochet, your treble crochet. This is a front post treble crochet. Starting from the front, grabbing that post, and then just working a treble crochet. You're just grabbing the post instead of grabbing the top of the stitch. Okay, There we have it. Like I said, I like to start and end my rows with a regular stitch. So we're just going to do a regular treble crochet into here. Now we're going to turn and we'll go back the other direction. Okay, so we'll go back. We had our treble crochets to begin with. We'll start with a chain 4. And now we're going to do the back post. And I bet you can figure it out already. This time, instead of going from the front to the back, we're going to go from the back to the front. Instead of pulling that stitch forward, we're pulling that stitch backwards. So now, this is now the front of our work, because this is the part facing us, and this is now the back of our work, because this is the part facing away from us. For the back post treble crochet, we're going to start from the back to the front and pull that post back. And that is a back post treble crochet. Again, from the back to the front, pull that post back, and then just make the treble crochet like we normally would. From the back to the front, pull that post back. We're going to make our treble crochet. One more, I think I did 4 of each. From the back to the front, pull that post back, make our treble crochet, and now a double. Same idea. Yarn over from the back to the front, and then back again, pull that post back, make a double crochet. Insert the hook from the back to the front, and then back again, catching the post and pulling it towards the back of your work. Make the double crochet. One more. From the back to the front, catch that post, pull it back, make your double crochet. And now let's do the half doubles. From the back to the front, grab the post, pull it to the back, half double. Back to front and back again, pull it to the back, make your half double. Back to front. The shorter the stitches get, the harder it is to kind of find that spot. Yes, you can do this with a single crochet. You can do a single crochet post stitch. Becomes, you know, it gets kind of fussy, but you certainly can do it. So here you can see my half doubles, my doubles, my trebles, and these are all, I've lined them all up so that the stitches are always being pushed to the same side of the work. Okay, you can certainly do them opposite directions. Sometimes you do front post doubles and then you flip and you still do front post doubles, and that gives you a like a ribbed look. But as long as you know how to do the stitch, you can just follow the patterns as they're written and you'll be fine. So let's talk real quickly about this practice piece and a couple little things that a couple little tips that I think you should know, especially if you're writing your own patterns using post stitch. If you're just following a pattern, then you just follow the pattern. But if you're writing your own, there's a couple little tips you should know. So in this practice piece, I first have lined up post stitches that are always being pushed to the same side. So on the first row it's front post and on the next row it's back post, always pushing the stitches to this side of our work. And so we have one row of post stitches. And then I've done 2 regular stitches and then 2 rows of post stitches, 2 regular stitches, 4 rows of post stitches. Here's where I got a little fancy. And if you look at the bottom of this post, at the very, very bottom of this post, there are a couple different patterns that use post stitches so that you can put your new skill to work. And one of them is called the raised stripe scarf. And it's a reversible scarf, because I think scarves should be reversible, that has this stripe. And you see how it has the stripe on this side that's pushed forward? Well, if you look at the back, look, there's another one that's pushed forward. So it's reversible. There's always the pushed forward stripe. And the way I did that is there's actually a row. Here's a back post followed by a front post. And then over here, here's a back post followed by a front post. So there always is a row that's been pushed forward. There's always a column, I guess, actually, of stitches that have been pushed forward, and it becomes reversible. And that technique is used in my raised stripe scarf to make it reversible. And then here's one more technique that people sometimes use to give extra stretch and to make really, you see how this has two stitches that are front posts, they're really sticking out more than these two, and the reason for that is there's actually a back post, then 2 fronts, and then a back. Then on this side it's of course a front post, 2 backs, and a front post. And what that does is that really raises this up. Post stitches are the foundation for crochet cables, and crochet cables are a very very hot item right now. Crochet cables are definitely trending. I think they're really cool. They're hot, they're cool, all temperature stitches. Anyway, you can do your cables using post stitches. If you are going to do a pattern that uses cables, you most likely are going to be using post stitches to do those. So this is the basis of what you need to know to do post stitches. The one last thing I want to tell you before I let you go is that you'll see when you're making this sample piece that in this section where I'm using half double crochet post stitches, these are half double crochet posts, in between I'm using single crochet regular stitches. This mustard section uses double crochet post stitches. In between I'm using half double crochet regular stitches. This purple section uses treble crochet post stitches. In between I'm using half double crochet. The reason for that is that you might notice that of course your post stitches actually overlap with the row below them. And what that does is it actually shrinks those stitches a little bit. So I have found that if I don't want my piece to gather up on me, wherever there's a row of post stitches, if I'm mixing regular stitches and post stitches, I make my regular stitches one size shorter than my post stitches, okay? And I have seen it used design-wise to an advantage. I've seen a cute little hat that is done in double crochet with some double crochet post stitches coming through in a couple places. And because the post stitches are only double and the regular stitches are double, the post stitches kind of gather up, and at the bottom of the hat there's these cute little scallops that happen because the row of the post stitch, the column of the post stitch, becomes shorter than all of the other stitches. So you decide what you want, but just keep in mind your post stitches are actually a tiny bit shorter than a regular stitch because of that overlap. So if you want them to lie flat like this does, you need to make sure that your post stitch is one size taller than your regular stitch. Alright, I hope you have found this helpful for you, and you can find more helpful information at jessieathome.com and our Stitchopedia. Thank you.